Hello everyone. In this video I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Shahbaz Gill to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Shahbaz Gill's words. First of all, the countdown. 48 days remain until Field Marshal Asim Munir's second retirement and the arrival of a new army chief in the country. As I've mentioned multiple times, these remaining days will not pass peacefully. Not for Pakistan, not for the Pakistani public, not for the Field Marshal, not for this region, and not for this system. The first news emerging today is that Afghan forces have launched a formal attack on Pakistan. Yes, you heard that right. This development happened just a few hours ago, and the update is that Afghanistan's forces, their military, have attacked Pakistan. Before this, Pakistan had repeatedly blamed Afghanistan for being the base from which terrorist attacks are launched on Pakistan. Whether it's TTP, ISIS, or several other terrorist groups, Pakistan's military spokespersons, and now even the federal government and the Minister of Defense have labeled Afghanistan as an enemy country, repeatedly claiming that terrorism is being perpetrated from their soil. But for the first time, there has been a direct military-to-military engagement between the two countries. This development just happened a few hours ago, and because of that, we won't be able to provide full details about how many lives have been lost or the full extent of the damage yet. However, it is confirmed that Afghan forces have attacked several regions in Pakistan. The areas being targeted, according to Pakistan, are unexpected locations, and Pakistan is calling it an unexpected attack. They are claiming to have launched a retaliatory strike. Why are they calling it a retaliatory strike? Why is Pakistan calling it unexpected? Let's explain this. First, let's present the confirmed facts that we have so far. Afghan forces attacked Pakistani military checkposts and regions in the areas of Angor-Ada, Bajaur, Kurram, Dir, Chitral, which are all part of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Additionally, the region of Barmacha in Balochistan was also targeted. These are the areas that stretch along the border between the two countries. Pakistan shares a long border with both India and Afghanistan, so the conflict is ongoing, with both militaries engaging in clashes across almost every location. Afghan forces made the first attack, but the response from Pakistan has been substantial. Artillery and tanks have been used, and according to some reports, Pakistani fighter jets have also participated in the engagement. However, this claim is not confirmed as reliable. Some sources have denied it. We will only share information that has been confirmed. Once we receive further confirmations, we will update you. The confirmed facts indicate that the core of Afghanistan's military forces, specifically the 201st Khalid bin Walid Corps, carried out the attack on Pakistan's territories and is calling it a retaliatory attack. The reason they are calling it retaliatory is that they claim Pakistan violated Afghan airspace and launched missile or bombing attacks on Afghanistan on October 9th and 10th. The Pakistani side has repeatedly said that they targeted terrorists, but when asked about it, DG ISPR refused to comment. So, Afghanistan is claiming that Pakistan's military violated Afghan borders and launched strikes. To retaliate, Afghan forces launched attacks on the regions mentioned earlier. Pakistan has responded vigorously, using artillery, tanks, light and heavy weapons, fighter jets, and drones. The media is reporting that the Pakistani response was overwhelming. Afghan posts were destroyed and Afghan soldiers reportedly left their positions, leaving behind dead bodies. The reality of the situation and the full extent of the damage is still unclear, but this escalation is deeply troubling. It was not expected that Field Marshal Asim Munir would initiate this so quickly. Moving on to another news story, this involves the Chief Minister of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. You may know that Faisal Karim Kundi, the governor of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, insisted that a handwritten resignation be submitted. It didn't matter whether the resignation was typed or handwritten, but Kundi demanded a handwritten one to make it acceptable. Despite Ali Amin Gandapur having already resigned publicly, Kundi insisted on a handwritten version, which Gandapur provided. Now, the resignation process is complete and officially acknowledged. Salman Akram Raja, a prominent lawyer and Secretary General of PTI, stated that the resignation had been received and acknowledged, and that it was now processed. This issue seems to be resolved, but the bigger question is how this will impact the political situation within the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa Assembly, where elections will take place to choose the new chief minister. The PTI will vote in the Assembly, and the opposition has a significant number of seats as well. Next, we turn to the press conference of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf leaders, in which they strongly responded to the false accusations by DG ISPR and expressed full support for Sohail Khan Afridi. They also laid out plans for his election as Chief Minister, as he is already a member of the Provincial Assembly. This press conference was attended by Junaid Akbar, Salman Akram Raja, Asad Kaisa and other senior leaders, where they refuted DG ISPR's allegations and praised Sohail Afridi's character and commitment. This is a very painful and distressing situation for us, but as I have repeated many times, when the country faces such crises, we must unite and fight together, even if we have internal differences. The internal accountability and leadership issues must also be addressed. For months, I've been telling you that if a war were imposed on Pakistan, we would all need to unite and defend our homeland. But we shouldn't have had to fight this war. This conflict could have been avoided, and it's heartbreaking that we are now in this position due to misguided policies. On the other hand, we see Afghanistan's Foreign Minister Mutaki, who while in India refrained from making any anti-Pakistan statements. He handled his visit to India very diplomatically. Meanwhile, Pakistan's government has been pursuing its own policies, some of which have led to this military escalation. Now, we find ourselves in this situation with cross-border firing occurring in 27 locations. Reports suggest that Pakistani forces have hit Afghan posts hard, but the full extent of the loss on both sides is still unknown. Overall, this situation is tragic, and the full consequences will unfold in the coming days. Pakistan's public must unite, and no matter what, we must all stand together to face these challenges. We are not facilitators of terrorists. For the last 3 decades, Imran Khan has repeatedly spoken about how peace can be brought to these regions, and in his government, he has actually brought peace to these areas. Along with this, he also said that your negative stance, associating the country's largest party with terrorists, is clear propaganda. Obviously, this is a new propaganda. We had presented it earlier, as Maryam Nawaz started repeating Punjab, 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 which was their new propaganda. When they played the Southern card, now the same Southern card is being used against Tehreek-e-Insaf, and this was done by DG ISPR himself. You saw on the map they showed that terrorism is happening in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Balochistan, but not in Punjab and Sindh, and claimed that governance there is very good. They themselves showed this map. With due respect, they divided the country into 2 parts and presented them to you in terms of terrorism. I think this was a very serious mistake by DG ISPR. Today we have responded to that thoroughly and have explained that our party is always in favor of peace. We stand for peace, and such wrong propaganda against us should not be tolerated. Taimur Salim Jagra also explained this in detail, stating that when we speak the truth, it should not be considered anti-state. Why do you make the narrative of truth look like an anti-establishment or anti-state narrative? Why do you place us in the wrong position when we speak the truth in front of you? Anyway, it was an excellent press conference. I would say these kinds of strong press conferences should have happened much earlier. Now that it's happening, it's very good. Better late than never. It was a powerful, aggressive press conference that was needed after the toxic and false press conference by DG ISPR, which only spread hatred, especially in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Then, the issue of the new chief minister came up. We have already informed you that the process for this will begin in the Assembly. Here, Junaid Akbar, the provincial president, created a huge stir when he challenged DG ISPR, saying that we have 92 to 93 members in our party, and if you break even one, I challenge you. He said if even one member votes for you, I'll accept it. He added that if you have affidavits from 20 to 22 people, show them to us. If one person votes for you, I'll accept it. He also sent a message to the members that if even one member betrays Imran Khan or votes against us, the people of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa will stop him from leaving his house and make life difficult for him in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. He said, don't think you are safe in your safe houses. People were pointing towards ISI, saying they would force us to accept them, but we will not tolerate it. He added, do you want to create another Bangladesh? Not this time. This country will stay united, and this country is ours. Don't make such foolish mistakes. It was a clear and firm response to the kind of propaganda DG ISPR had been spreading. He also mentioned that we respect our institutions. Therefore, we will not use offensive language in response because you were in uniform. However, let me tell you, your negative propaganda won't work here. Overall, if I were to summarize, he collected all the facts and explained them in a much better way. He also made it clear that Sohail Afridi will be the next Chief Minister of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and if anyone has the courage to stop him, they can try. Moreover, he said that it is our right. We have the mandate there. We will choose who we want as Chief Minister. A big development has taken place. Since Sohail Afridi is from the tribal areas, all the tribal leaders and elders from Khyber, from Moman to the entire region have come together. They formed a jirga and have unanimously endorsed Sohail Afridi. They sent a clear message to the federal government and DG ISPR that you should not call our tribal youth a terrorist or drug dealer. When you make such accusations, you are accusing our entire society and our tribes. Many of the tribal leaders, even though they are not from PTI, have stood behind Sohail Afridi because he is about to become chief minister from our tribe. They said, if you don't stop making such accusations, we will come to the streets. For DG ISPR and Field Marshal Chaudhry Nizamuddin, the situation is becoming increasingly difficult as Sohail Afridi is hugely popular among students. If he calls for a student union, all the students from colleges and universities across the region will come out. On the other hand, all the tribal chiefs who represent their tribes have come together, and the importance of the jirga in the area is immense. It wasn't just one tribe or one district. All the tribal areas collectively gathered and endorsed Sohail Afridi. Now the question is, what will happen next? It seems nearly impossible to stop Sohail Afridi now. Even if you try hard, you won't be able to stop his election. Of course, I might be wrong because I don't know the extent of your efforts, but in my opinion, politically, you won't be able to stop him now. This is the reality of the situation. The tribal leaders, particularly those from Mohmand, Khyber and surrounding areas, have now turned the tide in Sohail Afridi's favor. The final piece of news I want to share is about the murder of a prominent Lahore figure, Tifi Bhatt, from Gwalmandi. He and his cousin, Gogi Bhatt, were well known in the underworld. They had opposed Tipu Truckwala, who also had a significant name in the underworld. Tifi Bhatt was murdered at Lahore airport. It's said that during Pervez Musharraf's time, Tifi and Gogi Bhatt were opposed to the PMLN and aligned with its rivals. After their death, their son took over their place, but was also murdered at a wedding. Later, those involved in his murder were killed in police encounters. The issue now is that CCD, the countercrime department, is doing police encounters for almost everyone involved in underworld activities. Pakistan has made two dangerous moves recently. One of them involves police encounters in which people are killed without being presented in court, which I strongly oppose, because such extrajudicial killings turn into gang warfare. People use them to fulfill their own objectives. 2 days ago, I received contact from a very important Lahore police official who informed me that Tifi Bhatt would be brought to Pakistan from the UAE with the help of Interpol. Interpol recognized that Tifi Bhatt had been named in murder cases, and hence Pakistan received him. I was told that Bhatt's family, including his relative, was trying to make sure there was no police encounter and that he would be presented in court. Now it seems that even though the authorities tried to ensure his case went through proper judicial processes, the same police officials who are involved in these encounters might be trying to use Tifi Bhatt's case to further their own agendas. The crime-free Punjab narrative is being used to justify these killings, and it is turning into a bigger issue. That wraps up our translation of Shahbaz Gill's video. I hope this English version helped you understand his message better. Please like, share, and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.